Hello, friends. This time we bring a nice French story. The story of one prince, a little one, which is said to be a true story in those places. I hope you like it and give me your comments. And well, we start here. Once upon a time, there was a 6-year-old boy who had read a book about the history of boas in the jungle. He was very impressed to see in the book the drawing of one boa swallowing one whole elephant whole. And how in that book they described that the boa did not chew their prey, but swallowed it whole, and then had to sleep for 6 months. Can you imagine this? That in the world of animals, there is an animal which swallows another animal without chewing it? Well, this child was so surprised and scared that he tried to make this drawing, and when he finished, he showed it to the older people, but they didn't understand anything. So this child had to explain what his drawing was about. People told him, don't make drawings like that anymore. It's better to learn something else at school, go to school. And so following this advice, this child went and learned to read, write, and then he learned geography, calculus, mathematics, science, and everything they taught in the school. And so he became a pilot. So one of those days traveling, his plane broke down and he had to make an emergency landing in the middle of the desert. And he did not have a mechanic to help him when his plane broke down. And he had water and food for a week. The water that would be essential. His plane had already landed in the desert, but there was no one else to talk to or a mechanic to help him repair this plane. Well, he was very tired and he was very sleepy. The desert heat was exhausting, so he fell asleep deeply. The next day, a small and very thin voice woke him up. He said, "Draw me a sheep." The pilot said, "Hey, what are you doing here?" The little prince repeated, "Draw me a sheep." The character who had arrived had a childlike presence and was very impressive. Very well dressed, and with a lot of sweetness in his voice, he repeated again, "Draw me a sheep." Then quickly, from his briefcase, he took out a piece of paper and a pencil, but instead he thought, I'm going to show him the drawing of the boa that swallowed an elephant. And so he did. He told them, "Here's your drawing." The little prince answered, "No, I don't want a boa that swallows an elephant. I want a sheep. Draw me a sheep." The pilot was totally surprised that the little prince said that his drawing was of the boa and the elephant. So quickly, the pilot drew a sheep on the sheet, and the prince didn't like it. So the pilot drew a box with some holes and told him that the sheep he wanted was inside. The little prince saw through the little holes in the box and said, "Yes, that's how I wanted it. This little box will be used for him to sleep at night there in my planet." And that's how the pilot met this little prince, who never answered his questions, but he didn't want him to answer his. The little prince told the pilot that he lived in a faraway land, a very small place, where he saw the sunset many times. And one day, they ran out of water, and they had to go and get water from a water well, which was a few miles away. In the middle of the desert, the sun was so hot that when they got to the water well, they were tired. There, the little prince told him that soon he would leave to his house. But when the pilot looked at the stars in the sky, he would see him in each of those stars. And that day, the little prince was going to leave. But then the pilot had finally fixed the engine in his plane. The little prince took his transportation and left. Then the pilot returned to his house. And in those stars of the sky, the pilot thought he saw the smiling face of the sweet little prince, who was his friend in the desert when he was alone in that desert. And so we end with this story of that sweet little friend, so innocent of the evil of the world, so elegant, a friend who went out to see the world, to have different experiences and learn about life. Learning is very important. That is why we all go to school. The beloved school that provides us with instruction and teaching in this life we have. Let's learn to have perseverance and achieve our goals. And well, friends, I would like to know if you like the story. I will be waiting for your comments, and see you soon. Thank you.